Coming out of high school, Michael Porter Jr. was seen as a generational type player. Being 6'10 with a long wingspan, he drew comparisons to players like Kevin Durant due to his scoring ability and different type of ways that he can get a bucket. As a high school player, he had the ability to knock down the open shot, create his own shot or get to the rim, and even post up smaller defenders. And he also showed the potential to be a solid defender. And because of this, he was named top 3 in the ESPN Top 100 list, and eventually signing to Missouri University. And when he first got to Missouri University, mock drafts had him going either top 3 in the draft, and some even had him number 1. But that was all until he suffered an unfortunate back injury, which kept him out of action for the majority of his college career until he tried to come back later in the season and did not look like his former self. But even with recovering from the injury, he still showed signs of being that player he was in high school, that great scorer, that great shot creator. Even though the shots was not falling, you can still see that he had the ability to get the shots off, which should be a key factor in determining if he can still play at the high level that he was in high school or not. And then when he put his name into the NBA draft last year, some teams were asking themselves that same question, as his name was being thrown around, sometimes in the top 5 discussion, as high as the Kings pick. I've seen reports of his name being linked to the Cavaliers. So obviously some teams were willing to take the chance on him because he was a fantastic high school player. But of course he did fall in the draft and ended up going to the Denver Nuggets. And when I initially heard of him going to Denver, I was pleased with the combination. Right now, Denver really doesn't have a true wing. They be starting guards, really, and Will Barton at small forward. And I felt like them getting a true wing, a 6'10 scoring machine, basically, and Michael Porter Jr., it was a good move. You know, Denver really hasn't had a wing that you could just give the ball to and they just give you consistent buckets since Carmelo Anthony. You could say Gallinari, but I feel like Michael Porter Jr. can exceed that level and actually get to what Carmelo meant for the Nuggets. And this is all if he's healthy. If he's healthy, this is a game changer for the Denver Nuggets, and this could be a game changer for the entire NBA. Because if he does pan out into what he was projected to be, the Nuggets will be one of the most scariest teams in the entire NBA. All young, tons of depth, and you add Michael Porter Jr. into that, he could really be the missing piece that the Nuggets need to actually become true championship contenders. And as the injury goes, the Nuggets has been on hush mode about his entire situation. Even with another player on the roster, Isaiah Thomas, they really haven't talked about his injury when he was going through his problems. We didn't know anything until he returned. And they're doing the same thing with Michael Porter Jr.'s injury. We don't know if he's even coming back this season. We don't know if he's going to be ready for the playoffs or if they're just going to sit him out and wait for next season to give him a whole full summer of basketball to prepare for again. It's really been hard to even get any type of news regarding Michael Porter Jr. because there is no news. Nobody's putting anything out in the media. Michael Porter Jr. hasn't even talked about anything about his injury, about his return date. There's been nothing. And I don't think people really take into account how important this really is. Michael Porter Jr. was projected to be a top 3 pick, if not number 1 before his injury. And if he's healthy, and you add him to the Denver Nuggets right now, who have been consistently a top 2 seed in the Western Conference this season, and you plug him into this team, it could really be a big factor. Especially if he's good right off the gates, which I expect that he will. Scorers score. They'll always find a way to put the ball in the hoop. And that's exactly what the Nuggets could need right now. Another scorer. But like I said, if he's healthy, this would be big news for the Nuggets, big news for the rest of the league, because he will be a star if he's 100% healthy. But if you agree with what I'm saying right now, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel is very important. We're on the journey to 100 subscribers. We're 40 away. And if you want to be on that journey, hit the subscribe button and also like the video. This has been Moneymack, and I'm out.